morning. Now we are going to discuss about some other programs, and then we are going into the next classes. We are going to go for arrays. And now I am going to discuss about some more algorithms. That is prime number. The very well-known program. This is the number is prime or not. We have to find is the number is prime or not. First of all, what is prime number? What is a prime number? Anyone?
One and itself. One and itself. One and itself.
One and itself.
What is one and itself?
A number which has one and itself as a factors.
Yes, factors. Only two factors. That is one and itself. One and itself are the factors. For example, 7 is there. What are the factors of 7? 7 is 1. That means 7 is in which number 7 is going to be divisible? Exactly divisible. Okay. If we are going to divisible the 7 by 1, that is going to be, what is the remainder of this one? Is 0. We have to check with the 2. For example, the remainder is not 0, right? It is not 0. For example, it is going to be with 3, it is not 0. With 4, not 0. 8, 7, 6, not 0. 7, for example, 7 mod 7 is equal to 0. Okay? Only 2 factors are there. Okay, for a number, there are 2 factors, exactly 2 factors, one on itself, then it is called as a prime number. And then we have to, first of all, where I am starting here, I am going to start at 1, the number 1, and I am going to stop at, what is that number? I am going to, for example, I am going to check here the 10 number, I am going to check the last number is 10 only. Okay? That means every time I have to start at 1 and I have to stop at this number. Is it I know exactly or not? Where how many times I am going to check? I am going to check for example, if it is a 10, I am going to start at 1 and then I am going to check 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For example, if it is 100, I am going to start at 1 and I have to stop at 100. Okay? That means we know exactly where to start and where to stop. Which loop we have to use? Students, which loop we have to use? We have to go for loop. No doubt about that. We have to go for loop here. First of all, I am going to read the number. Reading the number here, and then I am going to check is prime or not. Is prime of n. Is prime of n. I am going to take some result is equal to. If result is equal to 1, that means it is going to be print a prime number. Print prime is a prime, else not a prime. Okay, very simple logic. Here I am reading the variable and I am going to check. This is the function call. This is the main operation, right? This is the function call, and here I am going to check is the result. For example, I am returning here either 1 or 0, either 1 or 0. If 1 represents prime, else it is not a prime. This is the main function I am writing here. We have to write the function call is prime of n. We have to develop it. I am already discussed about the functions concept here, right? What is here? We have to observe the things every day. Okay, we have to observe what is the properties of this function. This properties of the function. This function name is prime. It has only one integer variable. The argument is only one variable, that is integer, and it has a return type, that is res. No doubt about that. Okay. Res. What is the data type of res? We have to. I forget here to declare. 1 or 0 means it is going to be an integer, right? That's why I am going to take in the integer block. What is the return type? Return type is integer. Function name is prime, and the variable I am passing here is n. Okay. Variable here I am passing is n here. Now, just mute your call. Now I am going to check. Here I am going to take some I value, okay, and I am going to check the factor count of the number. Factor count of the number. Some fc is equal to 0. Okay. Now I am going to write a loop here for I is equal to 1. I am going to start at 1 here, right? I am going to start at here 1. That's why I am writing for I is equal to 1. I less than equal to n, I plus plus. I is equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. Now I am going to check is the number is that means what I am passing here is, for example, 7 or 10, that is divisible by I or not. For example, here what is I value every time? What is I value? What is I value here? If I am passing here n is equal to 7, I value becomes I is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this, right? If it is 100, it is going to be printing to up to 1 to 100, right? 1 to 100 like this. Now I am going to check here n mod I. What is that? N mod I. I am not writing anything here. I am going to just display here, return some 100 like this. Okay, nothing. For our purpose, for understanding purpose, I am returning 100. That is not the answer. Okay. First of all, I am going to print this one. What it is printing, I am going to execute it. For example, if I am giving 7 here, just observe the output. It is going to be print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it is not print, just leave it. It is not a result up to now. This is the result up to now. Okay, that is my first step. For example, that is my first step. For example, if I am going to execute it with 100, just look at here. It is going with 1 up to 100. Okay, like this. Now I am going to check here n mod I. Instead of I am printing here n mod I. What is the remainder? What is the remainder of n mod I here? For example, if I am going to execute it, for example, if it is 7, look at here. What is the remainder with 1? That is 0. How many zeros are there here? There are 2 zeros. That means it is divisible by only 2 numbers. For example, if I am going to give some 100 here, look at how many zeros are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 zeros are there here. Okay. Now I am going to check here is equal to 0. How many zeros are there? I am going to execute it. Just it is going to be, if it is 0, it is going to be print 1. Okay. For example, if it is 7, how many ones are there? That means how many true values? How many true values are there? 2 or 2. For example, we have to count here how many ones are there. Why? Because here I am going to check is the n is divisible by exactly divisible by I or not. Yes, it is exactly divisible. It is going to be written 1 here. For example, 100. It is going to be print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ones are there. Okay, I think I forget to count 1 0 in the last example. Okay, totally How many variables are there? Like this. Okay, n mod I is equal to the same thing. I am going to check here. For example, if I am going to execute it, if n is 7, now I am going to check how many true positions are there. 2 positions are there. At the time I am going to increment this fc value. Instead of writing this condition, instead of writing this line, I am going to check here with the condition n mod I is equal to 0. That means if the condition is true, I am going to increment fc plus plus. That's it, nothing else. Okay, I am going to increment that fc. That means factor count. How many factors are there for a number? I am going to return that fc. For example, that fc. Instead of for example, how many? If the number is if the factors is 2, if the factor count is 2, the factor count is 2, then it is called a prime number, right? Instead of writing here 1, I am writing here 2. Okay, if the result is 2, it is a prime number, else it is not a prime number. Now I am going to execute it. For example, 7 is a prime number. Why? Because how many factors are there? 2 factors are there. For example, if it is 100, not a prime. For example, 29 is a prime. Okay, like this we are going to check here. Okay, note it down, the main program here. If you have any doubt, just ask here, everyone. Anyone, guys? I am going to find the factors. That's it. How many factors are there? Okay. How I am finding the factors? If the n is exactly divisible by I am going to exactly divisible means the remainder is 0. Then only I am going to increment fc plus plus. Okay, that's it. It's a very simple program. This is the only one thing. Okay. Just note it down. The prime function is prime of. Write this comment line also. Write this comment line also. Okay, write this comment line also. Okay, I am going to modify this program again. For example, the n is every number is going to be exactly divisible by 1, right? We are no doubt about that. We don't have to check that 1. For example, every number is divisible by itself. That is also true. Okay, but there is no need to check with that number also. If any other number is divisible, then it is not prime. Okay, for example, if you are looking for the 7, just check with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7 is not divisible by other numbers, 1 and itself, right? The same thing. That's why to minimize this loop, I am going to write here 2 and I am going to write n minus 1 or less than n. Okay, I am not checking here the first value and the last value also. Okay, here I am passing if any number, if the number is divisible by any I value, that is not a prime number. That's why I'm passing here 0, here for example 1. Okay, instead of 2, here I'm writing the result. That's it. Okay, I'm giving small modifications here. For example, if I check it again, I forget semicolon here. If I execute it again, for example 29 is a prime number. For example, if I'm giving some 110, it is not a prime number. Okay, do you understand it clearly or not? If any other number in between 1 and itself, if it is exactly divisible, then I am going to return 0 here. I am going to return 0 here. Instead of 1, I am going to return 0. If any number is not divisible, then it is going to be return 1. Okay, that means if the loop is successfully executed, that means no other number is divisible. Then I am going to return 1. That means it is a prime number. Okay, instead of here I am checking with 2. For example, here I am going to check with 1. Okay, instead of 1 also I can write like this. No problem. Just give a small changes. But here again we have to cut it down. How it means? For example, if the number is 100, how many times I am going to check? 2 to 99. That means nearly I am going to check here for 98 times. For example, if it is 1000, I am going to check 998 times, right? 998. I am going to check here up to 998 times. Okay, every time we are going to check. If the number is big, we have to check all the times. But if the prime number, for example, some 100 is there. For example, some 100 is there. There is enough to check here from 2 to square root of 100 is enough. What is the square root of 100? What is the square root of 100? For example, it is going to be 10. Okay? It is going to be 10. For example, I am going to give here some 98. What is the square root of 98? SQRT of 98? Root of 98. This is not exactly it is not finding the square root here. Some floating point also. Some, for example, it is going to be 9 point something. Okay? Like this. That means it is going to be check every time 2 to 9 only. Instead of 98 times, it is going to be check only 8 times. 2 to 9. Okay. First of all, we are going to print here what is the square root. What is the square root? How the square root is going to be print here? Percentage. This is not D. It is going to be, for example, it is a long float. That means a double. SQRT of num. What is the SQRT function? It is a mathematical function. That's why we have to include math.h header file. Okay. If I am going to execute it, just look at, for example, it is 100. What is the square root function here? 10.000 like this. For example, if I execute here 98, look at here, it is going to be 9.8 like this. Okay. Now, instead of n, I am going to check here SQRT of n. That's it. SQRT of n. For example, now I am going to execute it. If I am going to give 100, it is not a prime. If I am going to execute some 93 also not prime, 91 is also not prime. Okay, some 87 is also not a prime. Just wait, 83. 83 is a prime. Okay. For example, I'm going to execute 17 is a prime. Okay. In this way, we are going to check up to only. We have to start at 2 and we have to stop at SQRT of n. That value. For example, if I'm going to check every time. For example, SQ is enough. SQ is equal to SQRT of n. That's it. Instead of checking all the times, I am going to check here SQ is enough. Okay, here I am going to find what is the square root value. Instead of checking every time, I am processing SQRT. What is SQRT of n? SQRT of n. Instead of that one, I am going to check only one time here. I am going to check here only one time. What is the SQRT of n? SQRT of n is, for example, 9 point something. I am going to place in SQ value and I am going to check one time. Okay. Every time when we are writing some prime number functionality, we have to write this algorithm, not the last previous two algorithms. That means 1 to n minus 1, n and 2 to n minus 1. We have to check every time 2 to square root of that number is enough. Okay. For example, if it is 7, how many values it is going to be checked here? Instead of it is going to be checked 1 to 7 or 2 to 6 here. Anyone guess here how many times this loop is repeated for n is equal to 7? Students?
4 times.
No, it's a square root. It's a square root. What is the square root of 7? For example, just roughly calculate.
6 times, sir.
It is repeated for 6 times. There is no need to write this.
2 times, sir.
Yes, 2 times. Only 2 times. It is going to be checked with this value and this value. 3 3s are 9, right? Only one time, I think. Only one time. Not 2 times also. Only one time. Why? Because 3 3s are is 9. For example, what is the square root here? Just I want to print it. Just wait. Here also I am going to print. Here the n value is 7. It is going to be checked only one time. It is only checking with is the 7 is divisible by 2 or not. That's it. For example, I am going to check with for example some 100. How many times it is going to be repeated? It is going to be repeated. Just wait. It is yes, it is divisible, right? That's why it is printing. At the first time, it's at the first time, right? It is only checking for the first time. For example, if I am going to write here some 83. If 83 is there, it is going to be check how many times it is repeating? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times only. But in the previous cases, how many times it is repeating? It is repeating from 2 to 82. That means nearly 81 times it is repeating. Instead of 81 times, here it is repeated only for 8 times. Okay? If it is divisible by any value, it is not returning anything. It is going to be written. That's it. Nothing else. That's why for the 100, it is repeated only one time. Why? Because 100 is divisible by 2. That's why then it is coming out of the loop, right? Then it is coming out of the function also. That's why it is repeated only for one time for 7. Just note it down, everyone. Is prime of. Every time you have to write this prime number logic only. 2 to square root of that number. The square root also we have to calculate. before that one, that means, for example, if I write here, every time it is going to be check the condition, right? Every time it has to evaluate what is the square root of n again and again and again and again. There is no need to check every time, right? There is no need to check. That's why I'm writing the above statement. Yes, first of all, what is the square root of n? Then I'm going to check with square root of n. That's it. Here also I am taking that integer value, not floating value, anything else. For example, if I am going to check what is the square root of some 98 like this, it is going to be 9 only, not 9.8 something else. Instead of, it is going to be take only 9 only. Why? Because I am treating this number as integer. Okay, if I am going to convert that floating value as integer, it is going to be cut the decimal points, right? It is going to be give only the actual number. That's it. This is the prime number program. Control A. Okay, now the next program is mega prime. What is mega prime? Yes, what is mega prime here? For example, I am going to write 73. For example, I am going to check is 73 is prime or not. 73. Yes, is it prime? Yes, it is a prime number. I am going to stop that loop here. 73. Is 73 is prime? Yes, 73 is prime. No doubt about that. 73 is prime. Now, 73 is prime. Then I am going to check each and individual digit here. Is 3 is prime? Anyone? Is 3 is prime? Is 7 is prime?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir. In that number, each and every digit is prime. Then it is called as mega prime. Okay, then only we have to call it as a mega prime. Okay, if one digit is not divisible, not prime, then it is not a mega prime. Each and individual digit, every digit in that number has to be a prime. Then only it is called as a mega prime. For example, 73. 73 is a mega prime. Why? Because 3 is prime and 7 is also prime. Then it is treated as a mega prime. Okay. Now I am going to write a small adjustment program here. If it is a prime, instead of yes, I am going to print it. Then we have to check only at the time only. If the number is prime only, then only we have to check. For example, 72. 72 is not a prime, but each individual digit is a prime. 2 is a prime, 7 is a prime. Then don't consider that number as not a mega prime. First of all, it is a prime. Then only we have to check is it a mega prime or not. Okay, that's why I am writing the logic inside the prime condition. Inside the prime condition, just look at here. If it is a prime, then only we have to check each and individual digit of that number is a prime or not. Okay. Then I am going to call here mega or something. I am going to write here only the logic, no problem. For example, no, I am going to call mega prime of n, mega prime of n. Here, if printf percentage d, more percentage d, mega prime. That's it. Else printf a mega prime. Here I am writing a simple condition here, simple function call. This is the function call. Instead, for example, instead of this one also I can write like this. Instead of this one also I am going to write like this. And write like this. That means E is the prime of n. If it is true, positive value other than 0, then it is called a function call. Okay, now I am calling here mega prime of n. Now I am going to design develop one more functionality. Can anyone tell me here what is the return type of the function? What is the return type of the function? Students?
Void, sir.
No, not at all. Just note it down here. For example, if the function calls are assigned with a variable name, or the function calls are between some printf statement, in the printf statement, or if the function calls are in if conditions or in any loops as a condition, as conditions, then this time in the all 4 times it is going to be written as some return thing there is there. Okay, for every time, for example, if I am going to assign it like this, some the result is equal to some function, it is returning the result value is going to be catched to the res value. If I am using some printf statement, also I am going to every time I think right here percentage d or percentage c or percentage f, right, based on that access specifier, that is also it is printing something, the function is printing something, right? That means it has a return type, no doubt about that. For example, in if condition also, I am checking if, here I am writing like this, is the prime of n. For example, I am going to cut this mega prime condition. The previous program, this is the previous program, no doubt about that. This is the previous program. I am going to check if of is prime of. That means it is going to be checked. If it is void, this function doesn't return anything. For example, how I am going to check here? Okay, it is returning something. Is prime of n? Yes, it is giving 1. Then only, for example, if I am giving 100, it is returning 0. What it is returning? It is returning 0. Then if of 0, it is going to be print not a prime. For example, if it is 11, it returns 1. If of 1, it is going to be return prime here. In the same way, for example, we can check like this also. If is the prime of n is equal to 1. One step I am escaping one step. For example, result is equal to some is prime of n. Instead of that one, I am going to print here is prime of n is equal to 1. One step I am skipping here. That's it, nothing else. Okay, understand, right? This point also, everyone. If the function calls are assigned with variable names, or the function calls are in printf statements, or the function calls are in if conditions or any loops, treated as a condition, that means the function has a written type. That function has a written type. Very important point. Okay. In the same way, here also I am going to write here mega prime of n. Now tell me that is the function called with written type or not? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, no doubt about that. Here also I am passing the function call, and the return is 1 or 0. Only two cases, right? If or else. That's it. That's why here I am going to pass 1. It is a mega prime. Else, that means I am going to pass 0. That is a not a mega prime. The return type is integer. I am assuming here 1 or 0, right? That's why I am going to check here int mega prime of n. Mega prime of n. That's it. Now I am going to write here. I am going to every value. I am going to every digit. That total number is cut into small digits. We already know the logic, right? We already know the logic. How to divide a number into digits. Some last 10 classes we are discussing that program only. Now I am going to write here n is equal to r is equal to n mod 10, n is equal to n by 10. What is r value? R value is 3, 7. For example, n is 73. N is 73. First value is 3. The next value is 7. Like that. That's it. Nothing else. Now here I am going to find is that r is prime or not? Is the 7 is prime or not? Is the 3 is prime or not? I am going to check here. Is the 3 is prime or not? Can I write the logic here? Some for loop. There is no need to check here. Why? Because we already developed is a prime of function, right? Is a prime of function we already developed. We have to call that function. That's it. Okay. Is prime of r. We have to check is a prime of r is enough. Is a prime of r. Now what I have to do? What I have to do here? If it is not a prime, for example, if it is not a prime, if the digit is not a prime, we have to return 0 here for not a mega prime, right? Here I am going to check if not a prime is equal to 0, is equal to 0. That means it is not a prime, right? It is not a prime. That means I am going to return 0 here. For all the cases, for all the digits are prime, if all the digits are prime, then I am going to return 1 here. For example, if I am going to execute it, just wait. Is prime of what it is? What's that error? Not a problem. Sorry. Here P is capital. Here P is small. Okay. For example, 73. Look at here, 73. It is a prime and a mega prime. Just look at there. It is a prime and mega prime. For example, any other values? For example, 29. For example, 29. 29 is a prime. Yes. 29 is a prime, but it is not a mega prime. Why? Because 9 is not a prime. That's why it's a prime, not a mega prime. Just look at here, not a mega prime. Okay. Do you observe here what I am doing here? Do you understand what I am writing? this condition. This is a simple condition what I am writing here. I am going to check is R is that means each and individual digit. I am going to check is it not equal to prime? Is it not a prime? I am going to check is the digit is not a prime. If it is not a prime, I am going to return 0 here. Return 0 means it is not a mega prime. I am going to check all the digits. I am going to check all the digits in that number. All the digits are not a prime, that means it is a prime. All the digits are prime. Then I am going to return here 1. That finally I am going to return 1 here. Is it clear everyone what I am doing in some negative sense? I am not checking here the digit is a prime or not. If the digit is not a prime, if the digit is not a prime, I am going to check here, return 0 here, return 0. Okay. Instead of this one also we can write the not symbol. Can I check it? 3. Prime and mega prime. Okay. In this way also we can write not a mega prime of. Not a mega prime of, not a prime of. Instead of that one, for example, here what it is prime of 3. What it is going to be written? Anyone? Is prime of 3. What it is going to be written? Students. Is prime of 3. Is prime of 3. What it is written? Students. Is 3 is prime or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, then what it is returning from this one, from this function? From this function, what it is returning? If it is a prime, what value I am returning from this is prime of function? 1. Yes, I am returning 1 here. It is going to be written 1. Now I am putting a not symbol there. Not symbol. Not 1. What is not 1?
0.
Means 0 here. Okay. I am going to check is it a not prime or not. That's why I am writing here not symbol. This is also very similar to this one. Very similar to this one. Okay. If you are not understand this one, just write this logic. If the digit is not prime, I am returning 0. 0 means it is not a mega prime. 0 refers to not a mega prime here. 1 is refers to mega prime. 0 refers to not a mega prime. Okay, note it down. In one function only I am writing all this code. Okay, is prime of, is mega prime of. It is very lengthy. Just note down this logic only. Okay, this logic what I am doing here. I am going to save in the GitHub and you will work on this thing. First of all, note down this logic, mega prime logic. Don't confuse this one. Okay, just you have to practice it. You have to practice it. How I am doing here. Okay, just take one number and do it manually. First of all, do it manually. Take some paper and pen and note down all the code and take one number. Take, for example, if some number is a prime only, take some not a prime and take one mega prime number. For example, take some 87. 87 is a prime. For example, is 87 is a prime. 87 is not a prime. Okay, some 89. For example, 89 is prime. Just look at 89 is a prime and it is not a prime. Why? Because why we have to check here. Why? Because It is going to be checked here 89, right? 89. The number is 89. I'm going to check here 89. What is R value? What is R value? First of all, R value is 9. First of all, R value is 9. R value is 9. Then I am going to check is the prime of 9. Is the prime what it is going to be written? Is prime of 9? Can anyone, students? What is the result of is prime of 9?
0.
0, right? 0. It is going to be written 0. Here I am going to check 0 is equal to 0. True, right? That means 9 is not a prime, right? That's why it is returning 0. 0 is equal to 0. Yes, it is true. Then return 0 here. Here return 0 means it is going to be replaced with 0. If of 0, it is going to be print not a mega prime. It is going to be print not a mega prime. That's it. In this way, we have to check manually. There is no need to check the 8. There is no need to check 8. Why? Because one digit is not a prime, right? Then there is no need to check the other number. For example, I am going to take here one more number. For example, 223. Just look at here. 223. For example, I am going to take 3. 223 is not a prime. 279. Let's look at here. 379. 379. The output is 379 means 37, and I'm going to check with one more digit. 377. Not a 5. When 3. This one 3 is also not a 1. 9. 77. Yes, 577. 577. Just look at here. 577. First of all, the R value is going to be 7 here. The R value is going to be 7, and the N value is going to be 57. Okay, the N value is going to be 57. Now I am going to check here 7. Is the prime of 7? What it is? What is the result here? Is the prime of 7? Anyone, students? Is the prime of 7? It is going to be written 1. And now I am going to check with is 1 is equal to 0? No, not at all. Okay, it is not executing anything. This line is not executed. Now it is going back again. It is going back again. And now what is new N value? New N value is 57. Now what is R value? R value is again 7, and N becomes 5 here. Again it is going to be check is prime of 7 again? Yes. Again it is going to be check is prime of 7? Yes, it is a prime number. Then again it is going to be check is 1 is equal to 0? No, not at all. Then it is going back. What is new N value? New N value is 5. Now it is coming inside. The R value is 5 and N becomes 0 here. Now it is going to be check is prime of 5? Is 5 is prime? Yes, 5 is prime. Then it is going to be written 1 here. 1 is equal to 0? No, not at all. 1 is not equal to 0. Then going back here, what is new N value? New N value is 0, right? New N value is 0. Then while of 0, it is coming outside the loop, and it is going to be print Return 1 here. Return 1. That means it is a mega prime. Okay, if the each and every digit in that number is not a is a prime, then it is considered as a mega prime. Okay, one more number I'm going to check here. 473 is not a prime. For example, 973. Nine seven seven. 977. Now I am taking some example, that is 977. The new value is 977. What is R value here? R value is 7. New value is 97. Okay, new value is 97. Now I am going to check, is prime of 7. Is prime of 7? Yes, prime 7 is prime, then it returns 1. 1 is equal to 0, that is false. Then it is moving back here. What is new n value? 97. If it is 97, R is 7 and n is 9. Again it is going to check, is prime of 7. Is 7 is prime? Yes. And it returns 1 and we have to check, is 1 equal to 0? No, not at all. Then it is moving back again. What is new n value? New n value is 9 here. And now R value is 9 and n value becomes 0 here. Okay, now I am going to check, is prime of 9. Is prime of 9. Is 9 is prime? Yes, anyone? Is 9 is prime? And what is the result for is prime of 9?
0, 7.
So then I am going to check, 0 is equal to 0. Then it is true here. Then it is going to be return 0. Then it is going to be return 0 here. Where it is going to be return 0? Here it is going to be return 0. If of 0, that is going to be false, then it is going to be print not a mega prime. Okay? For example, if it is a 277, for example, then it is a prime. First of all, 277 is a prime, then 7 is prime, again 7 is prime, and 2 is prime. Then it is called a mega prime. Okay? I think it is very clear, I think, students. Just again practice your own. Okay? Just take the example, just the code as sample code. That's it. Just write your own. Okay, I'm going to give a simple task here, students. For example, nearest prime. Nearest prime. For example, if the number, for example, I'm giving some 11 here. Is the 11 is prime? Then the output is also 11. Okay, that means that is the nearest one. For the 11, it is the nearest one. That is the prime. That's why we have to print the 11 if it is a prime. For example, if it is a not prime, if the n is not prime, that means a 10. Is 10 is prime? No. Then we have to print the nearest prime of 10. What is the nearest prime of 10? What is the nearest prime? In the right hand side and left hand side we have to check. 11 is the nearest prime. Nearest prime is 11. Why? Because what is the left hand side prime of 10? That is 7. What is the right hand side nearest prime? That is 11. The distance between these two is 1. The distance between these two is 3. What is the nearest one? The nearest one is 11. That's why the output is 11 here. Okay. For example, 15. 15 is not a prime, right? 15 is not a prime. What is the nearest prime of 15? What is the nearest prime of 15?
17 and 13.
Both are nearest to the 15, right? That's why we have to print 13 and 17 also. Okay, we have to print, if the both are same distance, we have to print both, and if that, what is the distance nearest to the number, we have to print that number. Okay, Is it clear, everyone? Nearest prime. We have to print the nearest prime of the digit. If the digit is a prime, first of all, is the, if I am giving the n number, if the number is a prime, if the number is a prime, for example, I am giving 13. If the number is prime, then we have to print nothing. That number is enough. We have to print that number. For example, if the number is not prime, we have to give the output as nearest prime. If the nearest prime is only one number, we have to print that number. If the nearest prime has if it has two nearest primes, then we have to print both the nearest primes. This is the program. Okay, I think I'm going to wait in the group. Just everyone try to execute it, try to develop the program, then only you will if you try your own, then only. Here I am teaching 100 programs, that is nothing, that is only 1-2%, that's it, nothing else. If it is going beyond, if I am teaching very good, it is going to be reaching up to 10% only. If you are doing one program, it is going to be reaching to 50%, 60%, 70%, like that. Okay, you have to do your own. Try your own. That's it, nothing else. There is no other secret to learn programming. Try your own, that's it. Learn the basics and develop the logic. That's it. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Just I am going to post these prime and mega prime in the GitHub, and I will share you the links, and you have to do the task that is the nearest prime program. Is the question is clear, everyone? Is the question is clear? I think if the number is prime, that's it, nothing else. Okay, is it clear, ma? If you have any doubt regarding the program, just WhatsApp me in the group WhatsApp, and anyone, any student who understands the question, just reply to that student. Okay, no need to wait. I'm going to reply for that. If any other student know the logic, that means know the question exactly, don't pass the code. Don't pass the code, and don't use that code. If some students are doing that code, that if you are posting that one, don't see that code. Students, you have to try your own. If it is wrong, okay, just leave it. That's it. That is no problem. I am going to teach here, right? No problem for that. Try your own 1 hour or half an hour. That's it. Nothing else. No, not more than 4 to 5 hours. Not like that. Just take 30 minutes. If you are not going good, just stop it. That's it. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.